What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today we're going to be ranking every single area in Wizard City based on purely how much I like it, but also how annoying it is. I'm going to try to make this ranking for all of you guys and use your guys' opinions. I did a little bit of research as well, so I'm a little bit more informed rather than just going with my pure instinct. But let's go ahead and go to the place that I absolutely hate, and I almost guarantee you do too. Y'all already knew we were going to be here. Firecat Alley is just the worst in almost every single way. I talked about it in like my top 5 least favorite areas video that I made. I'll tell you one thing about this area. They ruined it. It used to be a cool story and everything was interesting and everything was cool. Now all the fire elves just go fire. It's the most frustrating sound in my freaking ear. I hate pretty much everything in this area. It's way too bright. It's ugly. Everything about it is so annoying. I just want to freaking throw my headset. Firecat Alley is one of the worst areas in the entire game, and by far the worst in Wizard City. Sunken City is just lame. I'm sorry. I want to like it so much because it's such a cool idea, but when you have one of the most frustrating NPCs known as Marla Singer go, "I'm gonna show Professor Grub that I can find Grub in the Sunken City," like, oh my gosh, the most frustrating voice probably besides the freaking Firecat that we discussed earlier. Sunken City has a really cool vibe. I'm not gonna lie about that. And the story's not bad. Having like a mysterious creature down here is super cool, but having an obnoxious person that can't do anything for herself is not good writing. I hate being the friend that everybody relies on to bring all the drinks. Bring your own drinks, Marla!
We need to find a way to unlock that gate.
First, we need to find a way to unlock that gate. Golem Court visually is pretty cool. You know, there's the giant gate that we break open eventually. There's like beautiful sun through the trees and everything. There's a giant ladybug who's obnoxious. But, you know, there's a lot of things to like. So you're probably wondering, why is it so low? Why is it only 14th on your list? Well, that's because of the Golem Tower. And not just the Golem Tower, this girl right here, whose quest I refuse to do on any characters because I'm not helping you with your freaking homework. Do it your freaking self. You're not lazy. Get up in there. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, basically she has you do like 10 battles by going in there 3 different times to get 3 different things that she needs. And instead of the quest being where you can like scroll and get all of them in one run, you have to go back out, deliver what she needs, go back in, get what she needs, deliver it again. And it's just so freaking time consuming. The person at the very top isn't even classified as a boss. It's classified as a minion. So it's not really like the most interesting battle anyway. It's not awful. It's just yet another example of a place that I hate because it's ruined by obnoxious people. So I originally wasn't going to include the fairgrounds because it's not technically a place that you go inside.
Line?
They actually talk. It's not a place that you actually like go inside of, but it's actually listed as a zone at the zone pricing page on Wizard101.com. So I decided I'd include it in this one. Now, I will say the fairgrounds is not terrible, but I just wish it was a little bit bigger in its own place. It has a Sabrina Greenstar who does not get on my nerves. You know, she has the stuff that you can buy, weaknesses and all that good stuff. There are the games that you can do to get some quick potions, and our homegirl that you can buy to get potions. It's totally fine. I just wish it was more fully fledged out and you could actually do more than just ride the thingy. Did you know you could ride this thingy? I didn't know that for the longest time. There I go, on my blood bat. Don't flame me, but I'm not a big fan of Triton Alley, and I want to make something clear. It's not because it's not nostalgic. Obviously, we all grew up fighting the Kraken with our friends back in the day, and that I will always love about Triton Avenue. But Triton Avenue's gotten to the point where it's just not a very good-looking area anymore. I get it's the storm area of the 3 streets of Myth, Fire, and Storm for Triton, but I also just don't like it very much. I think it's pretty dark and pretty depressing, and it does a good job for what it's supposed to be. Don't get me wrong, like I don't hate Triton Avenue like I do Firecat Alley. I just don't like the way it looks visually, and I don't like the story anymore. They made it so that instead of it being like, you know, you're having to save Arthur Griffinbane from the tower or whatever, now you're having to save Susie, and I just think that's like a weird thing to retcon. Crab Alley, I feel the exact same way about Triton Avenue, except it's pretty cool that we get an underwater area in Wizard101, or I guess Wizard City, because there are a lot of underwater areas in Wizard101. But in Wizard City. But of course I had to put it this high because of Waterworks. I love Waterworks. It's one of my favorite dungeons of all time. When I rank the dungeons, which you can find in my old channel stuff, I love Waterworks. It is the best dungeon to farm besides Darkmoor, and it's just an interesting dungeon. There are a couple things about it that I wish were different, like I feel like a lot of it looks the exact same. However, oh, did you? Okay, yeah, you're moving down to the bottom, Riverclaw Guard, or, oh my god, I just messed that up. Riverclaw, oh my god, Riverclaw Guard. Good lord, get Forest Lord into the face. Yeah. Yeah, look at this boy. Ooh. How you like my big old log in your face, you Riverclaw Guard? Stop bothering me. Anyway, also in this list, I'm also including Deep Warren right here. I'm not going to do like a separate entry because I feel like, oh, I didn't even do this far. That's kind of funny. I can't even go there. They're pretty much the same thing, just slightly different, but I feel the exact same way about Crab Alley as I do the Deep Warren. Unicorn Way is pretty cool. I mean, there's not really much that I hate about it. PvP is really toxic, but you know, it looks pretty good where it is. Unicorn Way, like, this is like the midpoint of this list. Everything before this I feel kind of like more about, but this is the first one that I have nothing bad to say. The story is easy to follow. It's pretty visually good looking. I'm not a big fan of the characters that are in this area, but I mean, it's the starting area of the game. I've played it so many times. You've probably played it so many times too. How could you not love Unicorn Way? So solid B tier for Unicorn Way. Now let's get into the ones that I like a little bit more. I've had some of my greatest moments of depression when I was at the Pet Pavilion. You know, getting a talent that really freaking sucks and being out of money and out of hope until I, you know, quest about 3 or 4 worlds to get another nice pet. It's not exactly the best feeling in the world, but the feeling of getting the best talent after having all of those failed attempts definitely negates all of the sad times. Okay, it really doesn't, but I'm just gonna pretend that it does. The games are fun. They still stand the test of time nowadays. I still enjoy doing the Way of the Ninja Pig every now and then. It's pretty fun here. I like it. I don't want to like it, but I have to. The commons, I wish I liked a little bit more than I do, and the only problem is just the people inside of it. If I pull up my chat, do you see what I see here? Like, come on, what are we doing? Fortunately, we're not in a dystopian world. The comments are full of extremely toxic, arrogant jerks that honestly nobody likes in the real community. However, it is the very starting area of the game with the most nostalgic song of all time, and for that reason, I will always hold it better in my heart than I probably should. That is a really cool mount. What is that? That's the Polygonal Prowler. 7,000 crowns! Oh, hell no! I'm gonna lump the Dark and Haunted Cave into one because I feel pretty much the same about both. The Haunted Cave is slightly cooler if you really care, but the Dark Cave and Haunted Cave do everything that's... I'm getting a work call, hang on. Oh, person on the phone, by the way, for not telling me to have a good day as well. But anyway, back to this. I feel like the Haunted Cave is slightly cooler. It has Lord Nightshade, of course I like it. But the Dark Cave is just super good looking. They both look spooky. They both have spooky music. They both have spooky creatures. What do you not like? It's pretty sick. Cyclops Lane would be a lot higher if it wasn't for these god-awful ugly streets. However, I do have to admit Cyclops Lane is absolutely gorgeous. I think it is a super cool area. Having Festival Plaza is awesome. Having the Cyclops holding the weight of the area up there is just super sick. The story obviously used to be a lot better than it is now. The story's pretty cringe now, but trying to put that aside, having like the little eyes in the tower up there is just such a nice little detail. Getting to fight a bunch of monsters from Greek mythology is obviously pretty freaking cool. I'm not including Aquila here because it's not really a fair comparison because it would just be number 1. But if I was, no Cyclops Lane would be a lot higher. In the 4th spot, we have the ugly world of Colossus Boulevard. And you're probably like, why in the world are we in Colossus Boulevard if you said it was ugly? Because the story makes it so much better. Having a bunch of these freaking losers eating all of the world is kind of funny. I have been so critical on this channel of Caramel, and I stand by that. I hate Caramel, so my least favorite world will never like it, because the crude humor is only funny for as long as it is. But in Colossus Boulevard, it gives the same kind of humor, but in a more lovable way. You know, just imagining that there's a species trying to eat the entire wizard city that you have to, like, quell, I just think is a funny storyline. I think it's pretty freaking solid. I think visually the area looks pretty cool. And it gives Ice Magic a nice little look. Although, I don't like you at all. You're kind of stupid. You know, third up we have... Oh, it's you! Do you know where the grub is for the ancient mythology classes? Anyway, ignoring her for a second. And number 3, we have Nightside. Now, Nightside is one that I think is super freaking awesome. Having the entrance to Sunken City with, like, the eyes staring at you and the little death emoji there, with Dorgan and Mortis, it's just a super, super nice touch. And the fact that this area leads to Darkmoor and has just so many cool things, it's torn from Ravenwood, it's just such an awesome area. There's nothing about this area that I really don't like. It does what it's supposed to do perfectly, but it also doesn't be doing too much. As I'm leaving Daddy that has a big log, Bartleby and Ravenwood is one that I definitely have to say is a very great area. It's where I film a lot of my Wizard101 videos because the aesthetics and the just nostalgia and just everything about it is absolutely incredible. Ravenwood visually is the best looking area, in my opinion, in the entire Wizard City and maybe the entire game. It's like the Arcanum, but if the Arcanum was a little bit cooler, Ravenwood is the best at what it needs to do. It was made at being the places where all the schools are, and having like each own small community where, like, yeah, Torrance is in a permanent thunderstorm, and Mr. Kelvin over here is freezing his butt cheeks off. I just think that, like, visually, they nailed it. You guys have heard me be very negative of Wizard101 and their devs recently. Well, something that I'll never be negative of is their art team and their visual team. Everything about the graphics. I love it. The professors are still lovable in their own way. They changed the story a lot, but something that's not changed is, you know, Mr. Drake over here is still a butthole. You know, Mulinda Wool is calm, collected, nice. The annoying death guy is still obnoxious. Fire, she's like all classy and cool. Lydia Greyrose is all sweet. It's like every single professor has maintained their own personality, but you can also almost see their personality from how the school looks. That's great graphic design, or game design. I don't know. The shopping district is my favorite area in Wizard City because I love its simplicity. I hate the bazaar. I'll be so freaking honest with you. The bazaar is kind of stupid, but having an area like the shopping district, I wish this was in every world. And I know every world has like their own shopping areas like Krokotopia does, but it's all separated and etc. Having an entire area dedicated to like the shopping mall of Wizard City, I think it's just so cool. It looks visually so good. Like the signs, you know, go in the wind slightly. They have people like outside with their own things like Mr. Felix Navidad here, and a super cool ledge that is important in like the ice quest where I think like the ice giant rises from out here or whatever. I just think this area is super cool. Well, guys, I want to hear if you agree with my list. Also, put your rankings below. Let me know your top 5 favorite, your top 5 least favorite. I appreciate all y'all so much. If y'all want to see Krokotopia, hit that like button. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.